Welcome back to Newmber Math, in which we apply color to identify and sequence within math. My Math 2 crew, this is your 3.2 factoring quiz review. Kicking it off with number 1. Find the greatest common factor of 40x to the 5th y cubed plus 32x to the 4th y squared minus 20x squared y. All right, the beautiful part about multiple choice is that it allows us to work fast and efficiently. Okay, so let's take a look. Our first 3 answer choices all include a 4. All right, so if I just take 40, divide it by 4, that gives us 10, which is a whole number, no decimal. That works out. 32 divided by 4 is 8. Again, no decimal, whole number. And negative 20 divided by 4 is negative 5. And yes, it's again a whole number. So we definitely know that our greatest common factor will have a 4. Now let's zoom in tight. Okay, don't get confused about the variables. It's no big deal, all right? Yes, sometimes letters in math can overwhelm us, but we all can overcome it. All right, let's take a look. We have x to the 5th. All right, now we're just going to look at the other 2 terms and see if they share an x. Well, yes, this one does. It's x to the 4th. And this one does as well. It's x to the 2nd. Now, when we see that x in all 3 of these, well, let's go ahead and take the x with the least exponent, which is 2. Because I can take x squared from x squared. I can definitely take x squared from x to the 4th. And I certainly can take at least an x squared from x to the 5th. All right, so we will definitely include the x squared within our greatest common factor. Now, back to our first term, I see a y cubed. Well, let's check it again. Y squared and y. Now, just in case we do get a little uncertain at times, guys, all right, when we see y by itself, it does have that imaginary 1 above it, making it y to the first power, all right, or just y. Now, can I take a y cubed from just y? No. Can I take a y2 or y squared from just y? No. But I can take a y from y, I can take a y from y squared, and I can take a y from y cubed, making our greatest common factor 4x squared y. All right, well, it's not just 4. It's not 4xy because it's squared, so it's answer choice C, 4x squared y. All right, circle your answer. Now, for number 2, the expression x squared plus 16x plus 48 is equivalent to, no, I'm not Joe Rogan. Yes, I am Mr. Richards. This is not Fear Factor. All right, this is the X Factor. All right, and kicking it off, what I first like to do, for the first 2, we'll do in color. For the rest, it'll all just be done in black and white, as our comfortability has been really strong and strengthening. Really proud of all you guys. All right, so let's just label our a value. And again, it's that imaginary 1 in front of x squared. All right, if you want to write it in, feel free. I'm just providing the visual for the video. All right, now our b value is the plus 16, and our c value is the plus 48. Now, to get right here in our x factor, I want to do a times c. Well, 1 times 48 is simply just, yes, 48. Great job. And our b value is 16, so we will put this here. Okay. Now, what I like to do is just write out the list of factors when we do a times c, which is 48. So we have 1 times 48. We have 2 times 24. We have 3 times 16. We have 4 times 12. And we have 6 times 8. Yes, lots of pairs of factors that when multiplied will equal our 48. Now we have to find the pair that when combined will give us 16. All right, now the beauty about this first one is, take a look. We have a plus and a plus. So immediately, I know that my answer choice is going to look like this. X plus something, and then x plus another number. So basically, I will be working with 2 positive numbers combined in order to make 16. Well, 1 plus 48 is 49, 2 plus 24 is 26, 3 plus 16 is 19, but 4 plus 12, I believe we have a winner, is 16. So we can write our answer as x plus 4 and x plus 12. And again, the beauty about multiple choices, take a look, all right? If you are very comfortable with this already and understanding that, let's just take a look at answer choice 1. Yes, 8 times 6 does make 48. But if you're looking at your expression here, the trinomial, all right, and we see 8 and 6, well, we know it definitely multiplies to 48, But we know that 8 plus 6 is only 14. So you can simply use process of elimination, and I think I'll explain that a little bit more in the next one as well. It's just an introductory strategy on how to work fast and quick and efficiently for when you are taking a standardized test like the SAT, because you want to be moving at a rate and pace that you can be successful with, but also provides you enough time for the ones that you may have a little trouble with or struggle on to go back to. All right, so answer choice B, x minus 4, x minus 12. Negative 4 times negative 12 definitely gives us 48, but negative 4 minus 12 would give us a negative 16 and not a positive. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of B. And again, 3 times negative 16 is, well, negative 48. So immediately we can ice that one out. And if we look at answer choice 4 or answer choice D, yes, x plus 4, x plus 12, it's exactly how we wrote it. You might see it flip-flopped, no big deal, but go ahead and recognize and circle your answer. All right, for the next one, the expression x squared minus 3x minus 28. All right, well, let's take a look. 7 times 4 gives us 28, not negative 28. So immediately I'm getting rid of A. All right, 7 times negative 4, yes, it does give us negative 28, but 7 minus 4 is a positive 3 and not a negative 3. So we get rid of B. All right, negative 14 plus 2, negative 14 times 2, yes, is negative 28. However, negative 14 plus 2 is negative 12. So we get rid of C. And if we look at answer choice D, all right, negative 7 times 4 gives us negative 28, and negative 7 plus 4 gives us negative 3. So we can simply apply a test-taking strategy instead of having to go through it all. However, I do like to give you that thorough explanation just for your own understanding to build that confidence as you move forward in all of your math courses. All right, so let's just go ahead and identify. All right, and yes, that is a 1 for our A value. All right, our B is negative 3, and our C is negative 28. Well, up top it's saying do A times C. Well, 1 times negative 28, yes, it is negative 28. Our B value is negative 3. Great job. Let's go ahead and write the factors of 28. All right, we have 1 times 28. We have 2 times 14. And we have 4 times 7. So again, all right, we have our 3 pairs that when multiplied will get us to our 28. Now, if we made one of these a negative, it would give us a negative 28 because a negative times a positive gives us that negative. So now I'm looking, well, how can I make 3? I'm not exactly focused on negative 3 right now. I'm thinking to myself, well, how can I get to 3? Well, I know if I did 7 minus 4, I'd get a positive 3. However, if we need one of these to be a negative, well, we can simply write it as 4 and negative 7. Let me box that. All right. Because 4 times negative 7 gives us our negative 28, and 4 minus 7 gives us our negative 3. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and write our answer of x plus 4, x minus 7. All right. And again, we might see it flip-flopped, which we do here, but if we know we have our x minus 7 and x plus 4, we can simply just pick out our answer. All right, so again for 4, if you want to pause the video briefly, feel free. All right, try this on your own, just looking at the answer choices, and I'm sure you can solve it, no issue. All right, let's go through this one. Answer choice only. All right, forget about playing the X Factor game. All right. We're not winning a big prize like we would on Fear Factor. All right, here we go. Negative 10 and negative 4. Well, negative 10 times negative 4 gives us a positive 40. However, negative 10 minus 4 gives us negative 14. A doesn't work. All right, 8 times negative 5, well, that gives us negative 40, so B doesn't work. 8 times 5 gives us 40, but 8 plus 5 gives us a positive 13, so it can't be C. And let's take a look at D again. Well, negative 8 times negative 5 gives us a positive 40. Wonderful. All right, and negative 8 minus 5 gives us negative 13. All right, but again, let's go through it. All right, let's just simply identify. Again, this one will be in black and white. Our A value is 1, negative 13 is B, and 40 is your C value. 1 times 40 is 40. All right, our B value is negative 13. Now, again, you will have to solve some where it's open response, so get comfortable with it, all right? You do have the sheet to choose your factors as well. No, I don't expect you to write them out every time, all right? Because our mental math alone can get us to the answers very quick as long as you are comfortable with your multiplication table. All right, so 2 times 20, 4 times 10, 5 times 8. Wonderful. All right, well, and again, when multiplied, these will all equal 40. All right, but we need to get to negative 13. So I'm just thinking out of these pairs, what can I get to 13 with? Well, I do know that 5 plus 8 is 13. All right, but I'm looking for a negative 13. But if I did negative 5 and negative 8, well, when we multiply those two, we get the positive 40, and again, negative 5 minus 8 gives us negative 13, making D again our best answer choice. All right, so just showing you that, guys. Oh my goodness, Mr. Richards, what are they throwing at us? Guys, I'm sorry. Hold your horses. It's time to grab the boots and the cowboy hat. We're hopping on the saddle. All right, factor completely. X cubed plus 19x squared plus 60x. All right, whoa, x cubed and it's not x squared. Well, what should we do? Well, we do know that they all share at least one x, correct? Do me a favor. Take that x. Let's easy bake oven it. Let's set it and forget it. All right, wonderful. Now we're just going to work the exact same thing. We're going to go A. We're going to go B, and we're going to go C. We will do A times C. Well, 1 times 60 is simply 60, and our B value is 19. Wonderful. We'll plop that bad boy right there. And again, you can simply go over your answer choices, okay? Now, I did say to set that X, to set it and forget it, right? Well, guess what? Now your answer choice is going to look something like this. And you can see that throughout all of your answer choices. They're all set up exactly the same. And wonderful part about it is multiple choice. Guys, use test-taking strategies, all right? Because when it does come down to the SAT, you want to move fast and you want to do the best you can to set yourself up for the greatest success, all right? So let's just take a look. Well, we know that 10 times 6 will give us 60, but 10 plus 6 gives us a sweet 16 and not 19. Get rid of answer choice A. All right, negative 15 and negative 4. Negative 15 times negative 4, yes, it does give us 60, but negative 15 minus 4 gives us negative 19. Well, can't be B. All right, and if we look at answer choice C, well, let's see. 15 times negative 4 is negative 60, so it doesn't even give us a positive 60. Get rid of C. And 15 times 4, yes, it does equal 60. And 15 plus 4, yes, it does equal 19. And again, we can go ahead and just kind of work this out ourselves as well. All right, we can write out that list because some of us may need to write out a list and some of us may benefit from that list. But guess what? No big deal. Can't break my stride. Can't nobody slow us down. Oh, no. We got to keep on mathing. All right, so let's keep it going. 3 times 20, 4 times 15, 5 times 12, 6 times 10. And if I missed any, I'm so sorry. All right, but let's go ahead and let's just take a look. Again, we have that plus plus. So we know it's going to be x plus and x plus. Another strategy you could have used because only answer choice A has a plus plus, and only answer choice D has the plus plus. So you could have eliminated B and C. All right, whatever works best for you. All right, because we all learn differently. We all take in and soak in different strategies more effectively than another. So I'm just trying to provide like what I feel works best for me and trying to give you guys like other options and choices as you begin to solve yourselves. And as always, dudes, throw it out there. All right. If you have a faster, simpler, greater way of understanding for yourself that you'd like to share with everyone, please feel free to leave a comment on this video. All right. Or share out in class. Thank you. You guys are the greatest. All right, so we do know that, again, all of these, when multiplied, will get us to 60, but we need to figure out when combined gets to 19. If it's plus plus, well, 1 plus 60 is 61, 2 plus 30 is 32, 3 plus 23 is the Jordan, and 4 plus 15 would give us our 19. So we could put a 4 there. We could put our 15 there. All right, I'm just going to box it. I like to box it because I like to show you that 4 times 15 is 60, and 4 plus 15 gives us our 19. All right. We can write in our answer even though we've already done it. Sorry for taking the long route, okay? You can always fast forward the video if you are comfortable with something. And for number 6, factor by using GCF. All right, so we are just going to simply factor this completely. Now, if you pull out your factoring sheet, well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and write them down, all right? For 35, you know what? We'll actually apply a little color for this one. All right, let's go with 35x to the 5th. 35x to the 5th. All right, so we have 1 times 35. We have 5 times 7. Okay, and then we have x times x times x times x times x. This is giving you guys the visual, okay? Just to assist with that understanding and deepen it even further for you. All right, and then we have negative 20x to the 4th. All right, I'm just going to be writing out the 20. We could write another exact set, 20x to the 4th. My bad. All right, I like to underline that. I like to do 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. All right, wonderful. And we will also do our x's as x, x. Now, I do know that we already went above and just kind of like took the least valued exponent, but this will kind of give you a further reasoning as to why. All right, so we do know if we did 35 divided by 20, oh my goodness, it's not a whole number. What do? Yes, well, we know that 20 is certainly off the books. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and cook it. Burned. All right. Now, I'm going to look at the next greatest number within our least value to begin with. All right, so 20 is least value than 35. 10 is the next greatest number on the list. Now, 10 is a factor of 20, but is 10 a factor of 35? No, it's not. Good job. Go ahead. Get it off the books. All right. Then we're going to look at 5, and, well, right away I'm like, oh my goodness, yes, 35 also is a factor of 5. I'm going to circle my 5 and circle my 5. All right, so our GCF here, actually I'm going to scoot this down here, will be 5. All right, now if I can take 1x from blue and 1 from green, 2 from blue, 2 from green, 3 from blue, 3 from green, 4 from blue, 4 for green, but I can't take any more, I can at least take 4x from each of them, or x to the, yes, 4th power. Okay, now we have found our greatest common factor, but it wants us to factor it out completely. So what we need to do is take our greatest common factor here, and we're just going to simply divide by both terms. So I'm just going to write 5x to the 4th. All right. Now for our answer, yes, it does include the greatest common factor. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to open up our parentheses. All right. We are going to start by doing 35 divided by 5. How many days in the week? Yes, 7. Great job. All right. X to the 5th minus x to the 4th. Yes, we just simply subtract the exponents. 5 minus 4 leaves us a 1, so we can simply just write the 1x. All right, now we will do negative 20x to the 4th divided by our same greatest common factor of 5x to the 4th. All right, well, the numbers we divide. Negative 20 divided by 5 gives us, yes, negative 4. And if we were subtracting the exponents, well, x to the fourth minus x to the fourth, oh my goodness, nobody home. Close it, box it, and you have your final answer. All right, moving forward to number 7. So now for the rest of these, you will see no multiple choice. What do? No big deal, guys. All right, let's play a little X factor. Not the box, the factor. All right. Now, I'm sure you guys are all comfortable with labeling by now. However, I do like to do it, all right, because I'm huge on identify, recognize, and sequence. And just in teaching you that, just to build that comfortability as you always move forward positively. Yes, thank you. 1 times negative 64 or A times C gives us a negative 64. Our B value is negative 12. All right, now we're going to write down our factors of 64 here. We have 1 times 64. We have 2 times 32. We have 4 times 16. 5 doesn't work. Does 6 work? 36, 4. Nope, that doesn't work. 7, 8. 8 times, oh my goodness. 8. All right, that'll give us our 64, and I do believe that concludes our factors of 64. Now, we do know that, well, this is negative, so we do know that one of our terms has to be a negative here, or one of our numbers from our pair of factors has to be a negative, okay? Now, the greater of which will be a negative, because when our B value is negative, the greater of the pair that we select will be our negative, all right, when our C is negative. So let's go ahead and figure this out. Well, 1 and 64 will give me 64, 63, something like that. 2 and 32 will give us 34, 30. 4 and 16 will give us 20, but 16 minus 4 would be 12. I think we found our best match between 4 and 16 here. However, again, we have a negative 12 here, and if one of these needs to be negative, the greater of the two will be negative, and the greater number is 16, so we're just going to write it as a negative 16. We will put down our 4. I box just so you guys can see it, because negative 16 times 4 gives you negative 64, and negative 16 plus 4 gives us negative 12. So your answer will be x minus 16 and x plus 4. Wonderful job. Box it, circle it, whatever works best for you. All right, for number 8, you might want to pause the video. All right, I guess you could technically do it for all of these just to kind of test your own work first and then go back and check over mine. All right, because sometimes I might make an error. Yes, I am human. Yes, I am not perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and do our labeling of A, B, and C. And again, if we do A times C or 1 times negative 72, we get the negative Carlton Fisk. And I'll tell you what, when I was growing up as a kid, my old man took me to the game with my brother and one of my buddies. We get there early. We're sitting in the right field, like first row. We're watching them warm up. We're watching them, the pitchers get loose in the bullpen. And Carlton Fisk walks on by, all right, would not sign an autograph for me. So the opposing pitcher, Charles Nagy from the Cleveland Indians, actually came over and signed a ball for me. All right. I have had an extreme dislike towards Carlton Fisk ever since, and a lot of love and respect for ball players that take time out for the kids. Charles Nagy, thank you. You gave me a great childhood memory. All right, moving forward here. Sorry about the memories. Well, let's go ahead and find our factors of 72. All right, we have 1 times 72. We have 2 times 36. We have 3 times, let's see, 13 would be 39. 3 times 20 would be 60. Add another, we can do 3 times 24. We can probably do a 4 in there. 36, 72, so 4 times 18. Let's see, 5, 6 should work. 6 times 12. 7 doesn't work, but 8 times 9 works. All right, and what are we looking to get to, guys? We're looking to get to a positive 6. All right, now our C value is a negative. All right, but because our B is a positive, all right, so we're going to have, let me explain that one more time. Our C value is negative, all right? And when we do A times C and get a negative 72, well, one of these numbers from our selected pair has to be a negative. But because the B value is positive, the greater of the two numbers will be a positive. So we're going to be doing plus a number and minus a number, if that makes sense. All right, well, 72 is going to, the greater numbers are on the right side. If we know one of them is a positive and we're subtracting, well, 72 minus 1 is 71, 36 minus 2 is 34, 24 minus 3 is 21, 18 minus 4 gives us 14, and 12 minus 6 gives us a 6. And I said 12 minus 6, correct? Yes, I did. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Ooh, I forgot to write my B value there. Let's go ahead and box that, and let's prove it to ourselves. 12 times negative 6 gives us negative 72, and 12 minus 6, yes, does give us our 6, making your final answer x plus 12 and x minus 6. And yes, I am getting an incoming call, and it is from the one I love, as only 3 people can actually call me, and it rings through, so sorry if you hear that. Go ahead and box your answer, and we have just 2 left, and we will be completed with our review. All right, so again, let's just go ahead and identify A, B, C. All right, so 1 times 36 is 36. Our B value is negative 13. Let's go ahead and write out our factors. All right, I might do a cheat sheet too. I know I gave you guys a sheet of factors. Thank you to the great Wizard of Tozy, Mr. Fantozzi, for providing that for everyone. Much appreciated. But I might build in a cheat sheet of like what to do on how to find it a little quicker. Not the numbers, but understanding that one of them will be positive and one will be negative, or both will be negative, because we have a negative B, all right? But when you do A times C, you get a positive. So that means you have to have 2 negative numbers, all right, in order to get to that negative 13. So immediately, you can set this up as x minus and x minus. That's going to give you a huge edge. Because when we need to get to 13, well, I just know if I made both of these negatives, well, negative 36 minus 1 is negative 37. Negative 18 minus 2 would be negative 20. Negative 12 minus 3 would be negative 15. But negative 9 minus 4 would give us negative 13. So I could write this as negative 9 minus 4. All right, so as you can see, we already have it set up as x minus. Well, just drop the 9 in there and just drop the 4, and you now have your answer, because negative 9 times negative 4 gives you a positive 36, and negative 9 minus 4 gives you, yes, your negative 13. All right, and for number 10, last but not least, we saw something like this earlier. I do believe 8x squared minus 4x minus 24. Actually, I don't think we did. All right, what can we do? So when you get here, all right, you're going to be thinking, oh my goodness, Mr. Richards, what do I do? A is not 1 anymore. Well, take a look at the 3 terms. All right, what do they all share in common? Numerically, what's the greatest common factor? Well, if I know my least valued number is a 4, so I can do 24 divided by 4, I get a 6, and 8 divided by 4 would give me a 2. All right, so those are both whole numbers, which means we can immediately pull a 4 out. All right. So we're going to have the greatest common factor this first. So we have a GCF of 4. All right. Now, if we do divided by 4, we would get, yes, 2x squared. Let me actually move this over here. Do I have enough room? No, I should probably move this here. No, this works. All right. Sorry about that. Negative 4x divided by 4 would give us negative 1x. You can just write it as minus x. And negative 24 divided by 4 would give us negative 6. All right. So now our 4, we will take it. We will simply set it and forget it. All right. Now that's going to make, when we do this here, 2 times negative 6 would be negative 12. All right, so if we list this now as our A, negative 1 being our B, and negative 6 being our C, well, if we do 2 times negative 6, so 2 times negative 6 gives us negative 12. Wonderful job. Our B value is simply just negative 1. All right, our 4, we're going to set it up like this. And then we are simply going to, yes, set it and forget it. All right, now when we have a negative 6 here, well, that's instantly going to tell us that one of our numbers will be a positive and one will be a negative. So I'm just going to go ahead and write it as plus negative. And the greater value will be a negative. So let's just find the factors of 12. All right, so when we go through this, we have a 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. All right, well, we're going to be doing negative something plus a number. All right, well, if the negative is going to be the greater of the value, all right, because our B value is negative, well, negative 12 plus 1 doesn't work. That gives us negative 11. Negative 6 plus 2 gives us negative 4, but negative 4 plus 3 would give you your negative 1. 3 minus 4. Go ahead and box it. 3 times negative 4 gives you negative 12, and 3 plus negative 4, or 3 minus 4 gives you your negative 1. Let's go ahead and put the X in front of both. Go ahead and box your answer. All right, that completes your review. Let's crush, let's dominate, and let's continue to work our way through and finish this year strong. Friday, welcome March. Let's go.